Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Samato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. Let's get a high overview of the connection. First, in my section, we talk about what a tremendous event last Friday evening, lighting our legacy at Kenmore East. We're going to get deeper into that in a moment. Then we talk, of course, about the safety tips for families, focusing on updating emergency contacts and how important that is. Then we get into our school and district highlights. We finish off with our recognition. This week, we are recognizing our transportation department and our technology services staff. Let's get a little bit deeper into the connection. First, lighting our legacy. Folks, I can't tell you how wonderful it is to see our community benefiting from some of the decisions that we've collectively made with all of our capital work. One of those decisions was adding lights to Kenmore East's new turf field. And last Friday night, we kicked it off. We saw our girls varsity soccer team bringing us into a great match that they had last Friday. And to kick that off, we lit our fields. We had a lot of people there in attendance. We gave away a little flashlight as a remembrance, led by our athletic director, Lindsay Bergman. Of course, our Board of Education really leading the way in helping us move forward with our capital project, and you, the community, making it happen through making sure that we had the funding to get that done. Folks, it is a wonderful treat, and just to see it as a superintendent, it was a great event. It really warms my heart. Kenmore East is really coming together. Then we move into our safety tips for families. And folks, emergency contacts. Nothing's better than in the beginning of the year. You know, we have these little things that we say, okay, we always do this the first of the month. Like I always give my dogs their flea medication the first of the month. This is no different than something like that. In the first of the year, when we start school, updating emergency contacts. You should always have that on your calendar. Always check your emergency contacts. You could do it right through Parent Portal, through Infinite Campus, on the website. Any way that you can, make sure that you take the time to check over those emergency contacts. School and district highlights. Board members visit Kenmore Junior Senior High. Transportation staff address school bus safety with Spectrum News. Farm to School program to present Cooks and Books event. Lindbergh Elementary hosts Welcome Back Pep Rally. Kenmore West German language students enjoy back to school tradition. And that leads us to our recognition this week. And folks, we have two recognitions. First, our transportation department. Let me tell you, in the beginning of the school year, it is a crazy time for parents, teachers, all of our staff, our principals, for myself. Nothing is harder than working in the transportation department because they have the biggest stressor in the world, making sure that kiddos are safe to and from school. And folks, they are getting so good at making sure that the beginning of the year goes off without a hitch. And of course, there's some hiccups, and I really appreciate all of our families understanding when we have those hiccups. But really, this year was an exemplar, led by Graham Violino. They're a director over there at transportation, really just doing a great job. Our bus drivers and our bus aides are second to none. We even have people on our staff like Liza Akinfora, our director of adult and community ed. They go over there. She's an example, going over there and running a really nice call center during that first week to help out parents. Jenna over here in our PR department, Patrick. Everybody comes together just to work with that transportation department. And really, this year, for the first time in a long time, fully staffed. And you guys are just doing a great job in transportation. Then our final recognition, our second recognition, our technology services staff. And folks, next week, National IT Professionals Day is observed the third Tuesday in September every year. And really, our IT specialists, they are the perfect prime example of people in our district working behind the scenes. Thank you to all of our IT staff. We could not do the things that we do on a daily basis if it was not for our IT department, head by Miss Heather Fleming, just doing wonderful work on a daily basis, in and out of the schools all the time, doing everything they can to make sure that all the stuff behind the scenes is really kicking on full gear. And that's going to shut down and close off the connection for this week. And folks, I don't know how many of you felt exhausted this past Monday. That Bills game was something special for those of us who are old enough to remember those years from the 90s. That comeback that we had that one time when Frank Reich, the backup quarterback, came in and led the game. It is all about that culture of excitement. And to be honest with you, I thought it was a great example of why culture is so important. That's why we focus on culture here in our district. We have this new thing that we're focusing on, ACE. Attendance, culture, and engagement really continue to help us at home focus on that attendance, that culture. Our teachers and our staff are doing everything to increase the engagement because together, that's what makes us Kenton strong. That's what makes us Kenton proud, helps us to move Kenton forward, and we're together that ace that our kids need. Have a wonderful weekend. Go Bills.